Hey guys, welcome back to today's video with me, Lyle. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the 5 habits that keep people poor. I used to apply these habits on a regular basis without me even knowing until I discovered how to break those habits. So let's hop on straight into today's video. So the first thing that I oftentimes see people doing is paying themselves last or last if you come from the States. And what that means is as your income comes into your bank account for the services that you rendered at work, so you work a job and they pay you, whether it's monthly or every 2 weeks, but it's going towards everything else. It's going towards your mortgage, it's going towards your car payment, towards food, and nothing is going towards you. Doesn't make sense. You're working hard, but you're paying everybody else. But you're not setting aside any funds for your savings, for your goals and the things that you really want to achieve in life. And you're not setting aside any funds for your future, for your retirement, or as I call it, repurposement. So by the time you get to retirement, you start panicking. I don't have enough money set aside. How am I going to be able to survive? Am I going to be able to continue to live in my neighborhood? Do I need to sell my house? You shouldn't be worrying about those things. If you make the right choices early enough, you can change your situation and find yourself in a position where that's not going to be a concern of yours. So instead of paying yourself last, pay yourself first. The next thing I see with a lot of people is they don't have a plan for their income. So money comes into their bank account and it's just gone. So everybody else is calling for it. Everybody else has already spoken for it. So there's just no plan. Again, I speak of myself. I was making good income in South Africa, but I was spending my money on eating out like 5-6 times a week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. I was doing a lot of things, and these weren't bad things by any means. They were, again, not bad things, but my money, I didn't have a plan for it. So as a result, on a monthly basis, my bank account would have nothing in it. Okay, not all the time, but quite often, even though I was making good money because the money was just going. It almost had a life of its own, but that's because I didn't have a plan for it. So I encourage you, whether you want to adopt the more traditional budget sort of process where you have a budget and you're rigid about it just to take control of your finances, then do that. Or you can have the spending plan, which I prefer, where you identify your goals up front and you make sure that the money goes to those goals on a automated basis, and you just track maybe your discretionary funds. The third area that I want to talk to you about is credit cards and personal loans. So quite often I see people using credit cards, and again, I was in the same position at one point in my life where I used credit cards to maintain a certain level of lifestyle. Because my friends were eating out all the time, I needed to, so I used the credit card. Because my friends were traveling, I wanted to, so what did I do? Charge it on a credit card. And what was I doing? I was just digging myself into this hole of debt, which is a form of bondage, because it doesn't allow you to truly do what God has called you to do. So don't use a credit card unless you find yourself in a position where you can pay the balance off immediately or at the end of the month. Because what you're going to find yourself doing is you're going to swipe once and you're going to swipe again, and before you know it, it just spirals out of control and you're going to pay interest. So you're actually losing out by actually buying things on a credit card. You might be saying, yeah, but I get points and I'm able to do all these things with the points. Great. I'm all for points. That's how we are able to travel quite a lot. We've got a credit card and we earn points on the credit card, which enables us to get flights really cheaply. So I'm not against it. However, if we can't pay it off at the end of the month, then we have no business using a credit card until we find ourselves in a position where we can use it and we can settle it. Then I'm okay with it. But again, personal choice. You choose what works best for you. The next area that I want to talk about is, let's say you've got debt. I see people quite often paying the minimum payment. So by paying the minimum payment, they are prolonging the length of time that they're going to stay in debt, and they're going to possibly pay thousands of rands or dollars in terms of interest, which in fact, if they paid a little bit more on a monthly basis, they would have the debt paid off quicker, and they would have money available quicker to start investing and take advantage of the principle of compound interest. The longer you wait to invest, you actually lose out on the power of compounding. And then just to touch on that, the fifth area is actually talking about investing. So I oftentimes speak to people and ask them, are you investing? Are you setting aside funds for your future? And they say, we just don't have the means to now. And in some instances, yes, that is true. But there are instances, if they made certain tweaks and they had a plan for the income, that they could actually start investing now. And why is it important to start investing now? Because, again, the power of compounding. And I've got a video, one of these corners is going to pop up, that you need to watch if you don't understand how important and how powerful compound interest is. By putting a little bit in today, it just starts to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. Whereas if you delay it by 5 or 10 or 20 years, yes, you're going to be able to put money in, but you're going to have to put in a lot more to be able to catch up with had you put the money in maybe 5, 10, 20 years earlier. So just make sure if you find yourself in a position where I've mentioned any of these 5, and then yes, there are more habits that people have, but if any of these 5 stands out to you, then I encourage you just to pause and identify what could you do to break that habit today. So what could you do to get a plan in place? What could you do to free up some funds to start investing in your future? If you are spending on a credit card, are you able to pay it off on a monthly basis? If you say, I can't do that, then maybe stop today and let's get that balance down. Let's reduce that balance to where you can get rid of it totally, and then you can use it for points and things like that. But you might say, I don't have enough income to be able to do that. Then let's seek the Lord for wisdom to be able to generate extra income where you can actually take that income and then knock your balance of debt off quicker. So I hope that this helped you guys. Again, this is just to point out things that I had been doing for years in my life and I never seemed to get ahead. And I still continue to see in people that I coach and counsel in the area of personal finance where they're making these same mistakes. And if they just tweak their lifestyle slightly, they could get a lot further ahead, a lot quicker on their road to generosity and living a life which is a life filled with like no limits when it comes to finances, where they can do what God has truly placed in their hearts, where they can not have to lay awake at night and worry with regards to how the next bill is going to be paid. So guys, I hope that this video helped you guys and was a blessing to you. If you liked it, as per normal, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, click subscribe. If you know somebody that could benefit from this video, please consider sharing this video with people. And then the final thing I'm going to ask you, I've got 3 things that I'm asking you to do today. Third thing is, indicate in the comments below, I've got hope and I'm changing my habits. That's just a sign to other people that they are not alone and that there are other people just like them who might find themselves with the same habits that needs to be changed. So God bless you guys, and I look forward to seeing you on the next